Buenos dias, world, from the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. I'm Marco Wendt.
And I'm Rick Schwartz. And we're your hosts for Season 3 of Amazing Wildlife, a show from iHeartRadio Ruby Studio and the global conservation organization behind the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Listen as we dive into the efforts here in San Diego and spotlight the heroes working worldwide to care for the species you know and love.
Listen to Amazing Wildlife on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
A science story, huh?
These NYU scientists,
I felt
really
right.
I was so and I just thought, well,
I had figured it out.
It was that golden moment.
Because science was on my side.
Hey everyone, I'm Ben Lilly, and welcome to the Story Collider, where we bring you true personal stories about science. This week's story is from Nneze Akwiwu. It was recorded in March 2016 at the Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern in Atlanta, Georgia, as part of the Atlanta Science Festival.
Growing up in Nigeria, especially if you come from a humble background like the one I came from, and you're a woman, it's not the easiest of experiences. I say this because as a woman in Nigeria, the only duty that you have is get married to a good man and take care of your kids. And your whole world centers on that. You're not allowed to have goals, dreams, or visions of your own. You know, your main priorities: be the best wife, and, you know, make your husband your number one priority. Even if you're dying inside, nobody cares. The first question they're going to ask you when anyone sees you is, how is your husband and how are your kids? I remember when I was little, I was 8 years old, precisely. My dad used to have us in the living room to talk about how our days were. And I remember one time my dad asking me, so Nneze, how was your day today? And I told him, you know what, Dad? You know what I just realized? And he said, what? And I told him, I want to be the first female president of Nigeria. And it's like the whole room was quiet. He looked at my mom, and my mom looked at him like, I don't know what she's talking about. I didn't put those thoughts in her head. And you know, he burst out laughing, and my brothers were like, oh God, Nneze, here comes one of her stories again. And I was like, yes, I was asking my dad, why do you think that I can't be the first female president of Nigeria? And he was like, look around you. First, you're a woman. Second of all, do you see how we live? It's not like I'm a big shot in the society that I can, you know, even if you're not going to get there, at least people will recognize that this is a dream that you want to have. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But anytime we'll convene in the living room to talk about our days, I'll still repeat to my dad, you know, Dad, I still want to be the first president of Nigeria. So I would be telling myself that every single time. And it's just there manifesting in my life. Like for my friends, I'll gather my friends like in little groups and stand in front of them and, you know, be talking to them. You know, this is what my manifesto is going to be like. You know, this is what I'm going to do when I'm going to be the first president of Nigeria. And they're looking at me like, is she okay? You know? So, you know, time went by. I was in high school. I graduated from high school. My siblings and I, we all graduated from high school. And the big question is, okay, Nneze, you're done with high school. What are you going to do next? No one was asking, my parents were not asking me that because they're like, oh, she's a girl, you know, eventually she's going to get married, and all those crazy thoughts that she's having, she'll stop having it when she, you know, pops a baby or two. My father will always ask my brothers, you know, what do you want to do? Like, you know, it's a free world. Live your dreams. You know, to be encouraging my brothers, and I'll just be in the sideline watching them, and I'm like, okay, fine, we are in the same boat. First, I knew my dad did not have any money to support my brothers, but at least he was giving them, you know, his words as support. Nobody was supporting me. So I remember just 6 months after my graduation, one of my father's best friends flew from Delaware to Nigeria. He wanted to visit Nigeria, as fate will have it. I met with a man, and he asked me, so Nneze, he didn't ask any of my brothers, he asked me, so Nneze, what are your plans after high school? You're done with high school, what are you doing? I told him, just trying to find myself, find my life. And he asked me, what do you want to do? And I told him, actually, I want to be the first female president of Nigeria. And he was like, it caught him off guard. He was like, oof. I admire your courage and everything, so I'm actually going to help you. So he encouraged me he paid for me to take my SAT, and he helped me apply to several different schools in the United States. And as fate will have it, I got accepted into Spelman College, and I came to Spelman College. And I was so excited. Whoa, if you guys know how United States is regarded in Nigeria, it's like the land flowing with milk and honey. We even hear that, there are diamonds or gold on the floor that you can pick. It's an achievement coming from a place like Nigeria, coming to the United States. Your friends will be like, wow, she already made it. I just want to be like her. Look at her, in the United States and all. So I came here so elated, so excited. Everything was different. The roads were different. People were different. I was looking around like, whoa, But as the months passed by, it dawned on me, I'm not going to see my parents for a long time. And I'm in a new place. And I have to make new friends, and I have to make new family. I had only myself. My father's friend who was helping me, his wife just passed away. She passed away from cancer, so he had to move back to Nigeria. So literally, I had no one. No family, no friends at that time. So I'm I don't know how I do it. Really, I don't know, but the type of person I am, no matter the place I am in, I'll always find my niche. I'll always find out how to survive. I guess maybe it's because of the fact that I grew up in a very rural and difficult place in Nigeria. So, a year after I got into Spelman, I met this woman. I met her in one of the conferences that they had at Spelman, and, we exchanged contact. I just started talking to her, and, she had her parents were from Nigeria, but she was born here and she grew up here. And I started talking to her, and when she asked me, hey, what do you want to do? I told her, I want to be the first female president of Nigeria. And she would look at me like, really? Like, really? She looked at me like as if I was a star or something. And so we exchanged contacts, and when I tell you that woman was like a second mom to me, like anything I needed, anything I wanted, I will always call her and she'll always be there for me. Several different occasions that we'll have at Spelman, she'll always be there to represent me as my mother. It was crazy. But, before all these things happened, I had to choose my major at Spelman. Everyone was going into the sciences. I was like, okay, fine. Since everyone is going into the sciences, I might as well be pre-med, So I chose my major to be biology. And I won't lie to you. Biology at Spelman is very, very challenging. And look at me, coming from a different country. I have to grasp the person's accent, different things, especially, let me say, in measurements, in math. I think they use yard, while in Nigeria we use meter. So all these little things, I had to grasp that quickly. And I'm still learning new materials. I still have to be learning, how to, adjust myself to this different educational system, because it's very different from, where I'm from. The educational system that we have in Nigeria is British educational system, so everything is quite different. So I chose my major to be biology, and first year went, second year went, and along the line, I got discouraged. All the fire and all the vigor that I had when I was coming to America. Yes, I'm gonna make a change. Yes, this is what I know what I want to do. I fell off the bus. I don't know where it happened. I don't know how it happened, but I guess I was just, missing home so much and missing my parents and also the new environment. It just really, really dawned on me, So I was managing to crawl through school, I'll drag my feet to class and I'll tell my friends, I don't really understand the point of being here. I just want to go back home, So I kept in contact with my mother, and one day, I remember this day very well because that day changed my life. She called me and she was like, Nneze, do you know what happened? And I was like, what happened? And she was like, do you know 200 girls in Nigeria were actually kidnapped? And the government, they're not doing anything about it. And I was like, 200 girls? And she was like, yes. And she's like, you don't even understand. They were married off, they were kidnapped, and they were married off to older men. And I was like, wow. These girls were from the age range of 12 to 15. I was like, whoa. She's like, yes, no one is doing anything about it. I just thought in my head, but I bet you if 200 boys were kidnapped, nobody will be saying, oh, we don't know where they are. People will actually go out there and be like, our sons, our men are missing and whatnot. So my mom like, yeah, it's very sad. And after my mom, dropped the phone call, I was like, wow, that could have been me amongst those girls. I was like, Nneze, what are you doing? Like, do you think this is the time for you to lose focus and for you to have you forgotten how you got here? Or are you really taking things for granted? Don't you know that there's a reason why you are here? And that conversation with my mother sort of acted as a pep talk for me. And I went back to class the next day, a different person. I picked up back from, where I left off. I tried to boost my GPA. I was working real hard. And my hard work started to pay off because even though I wasn't really interested in the sciences, I still worked hard. I was like, there's a reason, Nneze, why you chose biology as a major. Yes, you want to be the first female president of Nigeria. But you must cross this hurdle of college, because if you don't have this degree, nobody's gonna take you seriously. They'll just be like, "Oh, this dreamer, what has she done? Like, what can she show? Like, give us something." That's the first thing people ask you. Okay, so what did you read in college? And imagine my answer being, "You know what? I just went to college and I just passed by college. I didn't really finish college. But, I still want to be the first female president of Nigeria, but people will not take me seriously." So I worked really hard, and I guess my hard work paid off because I was called to UCLA for summer research in chemistry, and I'm not even a chemistry major. I was invited out of everybody that applied for the program. I was called. My PI personally called me to tell me, "Oh, Nneze, congratulations! We've chosen you for this internship program in UCLA in this chemistry." I was like, "Oh God, chemistry? Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, chemistry." I told him, "Look," because his name is Dr. Miguel, the best PI ever. And he was like, "Yes, really, Nneze." I was like, I know I've taken some chemistry, but that's not really my strong point. He was like, "It's okay, so long as I can see from your CV and your resume that you're a very hardworking girl and you take your studies very seriously. So it's okay, I'll teach you chemistry." So during the summer, I went to UCLA and I participated in the research, and he kept his words, and he taught me, chemistry. I don't really know anything about I know things about chemistry, but I'm not a specialist in chemistry. But my PI, he's a crystallographer. he taught me how to make crystals. So I guess that's one of my callings that I didn't know. I'm a very good crystal maker. I don't know how that happened, but apparently the crystals that I made over the summer, he showed it to his graduate students. He was like, this is what an undergrad made. Because my crystals were 99% perfect. And he was looking at these crystals like, oh, wow, Nneze, you really, really made these crystals. He was like, wow. And he was like, look at her. She's not even a chemistry major. And she made these crystals. And I tell you, people there were getting their PhD in this. For you to be able to pass the PhD, you should be able to make crystals, perfect crystals. To cut the long story short, I picked myself up. Like, I was like, you cannot afford for you to just lose focus. You've come too far for you to lose focus right now, Nneze. Those girls are depending on you, even the unborn girls. Not just the girls, even the men, everybody in Nigeria, they're depending on you. Because I tell you, Nigeria is not like the best country for you to have dreams, especially if you come from a humble background. People will just look at you like, oh, your parents do not have anything. So how exactly do you think you're going to accomplish this? But look at me, I'm here. I'm at Spelman. I'm a graduating senior at Spelman College. And I'm about to go into the workforce. And I tell you, I came to the States with basically nothing. But I cannot begin to tell you how many people have blessed me or have been blessed by my presence. And more than ever, I'm like, there's a reason why I'm here. And the reason I believe is to be the change that Nigeria needs. Because it's high time that Nigeria gets a change. And maybe I'm that change, maybe I'm not, but I know that my voice will be heard one way or the other, I just know. So, like I said, I'm Nneze Akwiwu, hopefully the future president of Nigeria. Thank you.
That was Nneze Akwiwu. Nneze is currently a senior biology major at Spelman College. She thinks of herself as a bubbly, outgoing, and very family-oriented individual. She has plans of becoming the first female president of Nigeria. The Story Collider is produced by me, Brian Wachter, and Barker, Ari Daniel, Christine Gentry, Skylar Bear, Shane Hanlon, and Liz Neely. The podcast is produced by Rose Eveleth. Additional help from Brooke Williams, Anna Groger, and Justin D'Ambrosio. The theme music is by Ghost. Special thanks to the Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern for hosting the show, to the Atlanta Science Festival for being amazing partners, and to Dreams for being achievable. Thanks for listening.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Just a friendly reminder that right now, get any size iced coffee before 11 a.m. for just 99 cents. And a satisfying sausage McMuffin with egg is just $2.79. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.